my stoner mind.
Cup of tea. Hi there, how's it going? Are you good? Brilliant. So today what I'm going to do is make another speaker box. Hopefully you know how to speak before you start filming videos on YouTube and posting them and stuff. Hopefully you've seen the other video in which I made a speaker box, which turned out to be better than normal, surprisingly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again, but this time the box is a little stronger and I'm going to add an extra speaker. They will be fixed to the box. Also will be, well, you've probably seen the thumbnail if it's worked out. Also, if anybody receives any giveaways from me, send me the pictures either on Twitter or Instagram, DM me, and I will maybe feature them in a video, so that'll be cool. So this right here is the box I'm going to be using. Now this is a fairly solid cardboard box, compared to the other one anyway. We'll see how it turns out. What's new then? All right, okay, cool. Okay, so the first thing I've done is press record on the camera because otherwise nothing's going to get recorded. So the second thing I'm going to be doing is drinking a bit more of this. Okay, so obviously these aren't the best speakers in the world, but without these speakers we wouldn't have a speaker box, would we? So I'm going to be putting these into the box. And in order to do that, I've got to take them apart because otherwise they're going to be in a box and they're going to be in a box. So I'm going to take these out of here and this should be fun. So yeah, if you want to do something like this, just grab a box. Could even be a cereal box, maybe a few cereal boxes. You might want to make your cereal box a little stronger than it is because cereal boxes are not very strong. All right, so these come out like this. They come out like this. These come out like this. 1 second. Technical difficulties. And out this comes like so. Right, so I'm going to take all these out and then put them to one side because otherwise they're going to get lost. And we need these in order for this to fit. Don't know why my accent changed, but it did. So let's just go with it. And this one comes out as well and goes there. And this one comes out as well and comes out and goes there. So I'm taking those out because the screws are behind here. I don't know if you can see the screws because I can't see the screws, which means you can't see the screws. So nobody can see the screws, but trust me, there are screws behind there. So if any of you guys have had these speakers before, then you will know that these speakers are indeed speakers. Okay, and the last one is right here. So yeah, now I'm going to stick this in there. Hopefully this can fit and the screws will come out. And yes, it fits. Excellent. And there goes one of the screws. Okay, so the rescue team has just arrived back with this screw. And out come the rest of them. All right, so these screws are out and this speaker is now detached from that. See that little spider web in there? Spiders get everywhere. And now we'll take out the screws for this speaker. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I'll be having another giveaway, hopefully, sometime soon. So stay tuned for that. And I've lost another screw. So yeah, stay tuned for that giveaway. And I'm also thinking of having maybe a Q&A. You guys can ask me questions and I will answer almost all of them. And I say almost all of them because some people ask really weird questions. Or, I don't know, personal questions, and I don't really want to answer those, so yeah. Q&A coming soon, and out that comes. They come. And now for this side right here. Awesome sauceum. And there we go, that's that. Spider webs? Yes, we have a few spider webs. Spider webs are very welcome. All right, so these have just been detached, and I don't think you heard that, but I just heard a V12 roar past my house. A car with a V12, that is. It might have been an Aston Martin, but it could also have been something else. And there we go, that's detached now. And that right there, if you're thinking that's a big magnet, it's not a magnet, that is magnetic shielding. So yeah, this will now go here, next to its friend, which is here. And this stuff can go on the floor somewhere. Okay, so this box right here is quite a solid box, which I said already. I've got some stuff inside here which I'm gonna just take out. It's just a bunch of stuff I no longer need. And this is a router, modem, router, whatever you want to call it. Might take this apart at some point and take these out. Don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I may open this up, I might not. Anyway, what I'll be doing is sealing all these gaps, but I'll probably do that once I've made the holes for the speakers. Yeah, that should be about it. I mean, I'm going to have to cut this off as well. All right, so we've got two flaps on the top now. So this is the front, and this one goes underneath the front. So it's going to be a double baffled cardboard box. I might just cut this off from over here, or I could just cut circles out of the top here and then outline circles on this one. And then when I'm ready to put it together, I'd have to go like this, like that, and then put the speaker in and sort of fix the speaker to it. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it should be good. And also the bottom of the box is going to need to be taped down because that's basically just a bunch of flaps put together. Shouldn't be much of an issue really, to be honest. It's fairly easy working with cardboard. Okay, so right here we have some scissors, aka skizzers, and these are going to cut off these side flaps. The first 2 inches or so need to be cut, but then this middle section can just sort of be torn off. But like so. We don't need this anymore now, so I could use this to patch up any mistakes I make. Okay, so I'm thinking of placing the speakers like this. So one will go there, and the other one will go here. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird speaker placement, but I'm thinking of putting another speaker at the bottom. So yeah, these will go like this. Like I said before, cardboard's a little more forgiving than MDF. So if I say cut the circle for this, and because the screws are so close to the circle edge, I might, get something wrong. How would these speakers stay in place? Well, I haven't quite figured that out, but I'm sure I'll make something work. Now, I did actually make a speaker box out of MDF for these speakers, not literally these speakers, but 2 more like them, and it turned out fine. One of the holes did get a little close to the circle cutout thing, but I managed to sort that out with a bigger screw. Or maybe I just used the normal screw and used a bit of wood glue, I can't remember what I did. So I'm going to cut the holes for the speakers now, and I don't have the measurements for these speakers or anything to make circles with, but yeah, there we go, that's part of the fun, so yeah. Alright, so as you can see, we've got an outline right here, and these are where the screws go, so I'm going to do the same on this side, just doing a bit of this and a bit of that. And there we go. And now what I'm going to do is cut out the centre and try not to go over where the screws go. And hopefully everything should be fine. And so it begins. In that goes a rake or so. Let's try not to take it right to the edge. And there we go, we have a blur. And there we go, we have the holes. So as you can see, they're very precise. So check this out. We'll see how they fit now. Not bad at all. And the other one. So what I'll do now is, how are we going to do this? So I've got this flap that comes over like this. Maybe I should have done it on this first, and that way I would have been able to outline it on the bottom one. But now I need to go in through the back and leave an outline on that side there. Also, when you're making holes in cardboard, you need to use something that's quite sharp. Unfortunately, this was a little too blunt and I can't seem to snap off these segments. So unfortunately, I had to use a scalpel. Don't ask me where I got a scalpel from. Okay, so there we go then. The speakers are now in the top layer of this cardboard box, and what I'm going to do next is make another speaker hole down here. So the speaker's going to go about here, but first out comes the speaker that I'm going to be using. And here we have the speaker I'm going to be using. So I'm guessing the circle for this one should be a little more easier to cut out. 1, because it's big, and 2, because it's actually a circle. By the way, one day I'm also going to blow this speaker. Or probably both of them. But until that day comes, these are just going to lie outside the room and gather dust. Out this comes, and we have this wire connected to it, which is good because we're going to need this. And also I'll have to connect some wire to, why has it got dark? And also I'll have to connect some wires to these, so I might wire these up in series and then connect these two to that in parallel. Okay, so these 2 wired in series and then wired to this results in a load of 20 ohms. These 2 wired in parallel and then wired to this results in a load of 3 ohms. 3 ohms would probably work, but this amplifier is quite sensitive and it'll probably turn off. 20 ohms is going to be a lot easier on the amplifier, so I'll probably just leave it as that. Okay, so back to the box, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the circle for this. So it's going to go something like that. Also, I'll probably have to cut this flap off because if I wrap this around there, have a look and see what happens here. As it gets pushed down, it drags the front part of the box to the right. So that's why I'm going to cut the flap off. Also, we don't really need it. So I'm going to place this where I want it. So say, I don't know, about there. And then I'll draw around it. And then when I cut it out, I'm not going to cut out the line. I'm going to leave about a fingernail's worth of a gap. So there's a line drawn. And then, like I said, I'm going to leave that much of a gap and cut from about here all the way around. Okay, so the front of this is cut out, and so is this. Okay, so now we'll see if this fits, and it should do. Nice. And then we would have these two that go in the top, but I'll have to put those in first and then put this one in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal the box with some of this. Okay, so I've cut out a bunch of these, stuck them to the side of my desk. That way I can just pull them off the desk and stick them where I want. The first one is going to go right here in the middle. And then we have 1 and a 2. So yeah, basically I'm just covering up all these gaps, and then I'm going to put the speakers inside and see how the box handles the weight of them. Okay, so here we have our speaker box all sealed up. The back is also done. Now all we've got to do is put the speakers in. So I might as well just start then. There we go, that's the first one, and this one has a few more wires attached to it. And then one of these wires right here will be connected to that one. Let's take the black connection and connect it to the red one. And also these connectors right here will probably just lay there like that. I may just put a handful of polyfill in there to help absorb any vibrations caused by these. And maybe a fistful of polyfill. I may even just test it without it. Okay, so in order to put these screws in the box, these are the screws. Well, I'm using this screw right here to make the pilot holes. And this is the last speaker, but the first screw. And barely even finger tight. And there we have the speaker box.